I know it might sound bad saying it, but K-pop groups are kinda like a product that needs to be sold, and every product has a different target, a specific portion of the population it's catered to, and for the longest time, girl groups have been catered to men. The reason for this is simple: attraction sells more than music. Pretty people make us get more interested in a group rather than a group's songs. Obviously it's not always like that, but come on, don't lie to me. You have definitely started getting interested in someone because of their looks at first, and there is nothing wrong with that. So anyway, while the boy group market has always been working this way as well, catering to women in order to sell a fantasy, the girl group market has gone through a shift. If the target for boy groups has always been women, the girl group target has changed along the years. But before looking at the present, let's take a look at the past. Selling girl groups to a male audience is pretty easy, and it's always been a very effective way to grow a fan base and a following. This was especially prominent as second gen. Most girl groups, like Girls' Generation, Nine Muses, Wonder Girls, After School, Miss A, EXID and many more, had men as their main audience, and this was pretty evident in the concept these groups often had. I don't want to generalize a multitude of concepts and put them in a box, but these girl groups usually had two concepts: cute and sexy. Like I said, throughout their careers these groups have done many different things, so it's not like they only stuck to two concepts, but they mostly did something that was either cute or sexy. This was obviously a decision taken by the companies in order to sell a fantasy to their audience. With the cute concept, you are substantially selling the fantasy of the perfect girlfriend who is sweet, cute and innocent, while with the sexy concept you're selling an image of someone who is desirable, attractive and tempting. These are things that appeal a lot to men, as they like seeing tempting women they can desire, but they also like seeing innocent women that would make the perfect girlfriend. I know this probably sounds very superficial, and I'm not saying that every man has this way of viewing women, but like we said earlier, in this case groups are like products that need to be sold, and we all know that advertising caters to us through ways that are often pretty superficial and are aimed at tempting us. And again, getting interested in an artist because they sell a fantasy is part of the marketing strategy, and it's perfectly normal. So back to the concepts, girl groups substantially did the sexy concept and the cute concept. Some groups switched between the two, while others mainly stick to one only and try to build a very specific image, either the girl you'd want to marry, or the tempting girl that you can only desire. There were some exceptions though, the biggest example being 2NE1. They were one of the pioneers of the girl crush concept. They were giving off a completely different image compared to the usual girl groups. They were being fierce, badass and independent. And with that, I'm not saying that you can't be badass while doing something cute or sexy, because you can. As long as you are confident in your cuteness and sexiness, you can surely be a badass. But the type of cute and sexy concept that was done in second gen wasn't really about women embracing their cuteness and sexiness. Being cute wasn't portrayed like a girl just being cute and expressing who she is. It wasn't the confident type of cute. It was the vulnerable type of cute, putting an emphasis on being naive and innocent. That type of cute that screamed, "I want to be cute for guys and I want them to find me cute." And when it came to the sexy concept, it wasn't an empowering type of sexy. It was more like, "I want to look sexy so that men will find me attractive." So everything revolved around the way men were gonna perceive that concept. The female idols weren't being cute or sexy for themselves. They were doing it for the guys. And again, I may be generalizing. I'm not saying that every single second gen group fell into this category, but a huge amount of them did. But back to 2NE1 now. They were one of the first girl groups that broke the stereotype of how female idols had to appear and had to act. And that's why they had many more female stans compared to other girl groups at the time. Not to mention they were the start of a shift in girl group concepts as a whole. 2NE1 had been showcasing a different image compared to what was common at the time. Another group I want to mention is FX. They also brought something new to the table. And just like 2NE1, they had a lot of female fans. Yet another example could be 4Minute with their fierce concept. So all in all, after seeing how profitable it could be to market your group to both genders, a lot of companies probably started changing the target for their girl groups. They were like, hey, why appealing to only a portion of the public when I can appeal to everyone? And so we started seeing a surge of girl groups with different concept compared to the usual. The most obvious example being Blackpink, literally the most important third-gen girl group when it comes to girl crush. Through their music and concepts they talked about being savages, being fierce and confident. They dissed their haters, and other things like that. Another example of group that catered to both men and women is definitely Red Velvet. Something about their concept and sound feels very alluring for both men and women, something everybody can enjoy and that women can see themselves in. A big example is also Mamamoo. Actually, they were one of the first girl groups with a female-dominated fanbase, and I'm not surprised. They really are a group that mostly appeals to women because they have such a cool image. And on the same note, I can't help but mentioning Dreamcatcher, another group with a mainly female fanbase, a group that really took it to the next level by bringing a new sound that had basically never been done before by a K-pop girl group. But being a girl group that is catered to females is not only about doing the girl crush concept. As I said before, the cute concept can also be very empowering if done right and not in a way that is only trying to appeal to guys. Groups like Twice and Oh My Girl had a sort of transition along the years. They still kept a relatively cute sound, but it was a type of cute that women could also enjoy and relate to. Other examples of third-gen girl groups that were also marketed to women are Wiki Miki with their teen crush and quirky concept, GWSN with their unique sound and concept, and CLC, now unfortunately disbanded, but their concepts were super powerful and very liked by girls. There are many more I could mention, but the video would be too long. What I'm trying to say is that during third gen most girl groups were definitely being marketed to everyone, regardless of gender, and this is part of the reason girl groups managed to build bigger and more solid fan bases, because they also acquired a female portion of the K-pop fandom. And now on to the fourth gen, the era of girl groups. I feel like the major switch happened right during this generation. It's the generation where everything switched. Now girl groups are becoming a model for other girls, someone they aspire to become like, someone to look up to, someone they can see themselves in. Nowadays girls in Korea probably follow these female idols like an inspiration for everything, and they think of them almost as friends. That's cause girl groups are now showcasing themselves in a totally different way, like never before. For example, if they're doing the cute concept, they do it in a way in which they express their cuteness for themselves, because they are cute, because they like being cute and that's what they are, not because they want to look innocent for a guy. If you don't believe me, just compare cute concepts from the past like G-Friend's cute concepts or Level.is cute concepts to cute concepts right now. Cute concepts like Stacy and Weekly's for instance, you'll see it's completely different, especially if you're a woman yourself. I'm a girl, and sometimes when I watch some second-gen girl group music videos I can instantly tell I'm not the target at all, because they target men. But with newer groups, girls are also part of the target. I don't know if this is unpopular, but I actually feel like most fourth-gen girl groups are not even being marketed to guys at all. Just look at groups like New Jeans, Stacy, IVE, Luna or Billy. You can't tell me the main target is guys. The main target is girls that can feel represented and see themselves in these idols. Besides the fact that I think the newest generation of Korean guys doesn't even listen to K-pop anymore. Or maybe they do, but just very casually, without getting into girl groups and standing them like the older generations did, becoming very loyal fanboys. On the other hand, there are so many female fans out there, and it makes so much sense as to why the target has shifted and companies are marketing their girl groups to women. This is why fourth-gen girl groups are moving like boy groups used to move in the past, having big fandoms and not only relying on the general public. This is because most K-pop stans are women, and the moment you manage to make them become your fans, your fandom will grow so much. So we can say that nowadays girl groups are mostly targeting women, and this is only possible because of the way their image has changed. Girl groups are no longer just selling a romantic fantasy to men. They are now role models, and they represent the way the new generation of girls wanna be like. Girls in Korea are really not into fourth-gen boy groups all that much, because selling the boyfriend fantasy is not enough anymore. You can always find a cute guy to crush on somewhere else, like at school, but you can only see a role model in the entertainment industry, and these role models are female idols. As we've seen throughout this video, the girl group market has adapted to the way society changed, to the way women are viewed and to the way they view themselves. You might think it's not that deep, and concepts are just concepts, and maybe that's true, but it's interesting seeing how things have changed drastically, and it's even more interesting trying to understand how it happened and why it happened. Hopefully girl groups will no longer be forced to do sexy concept they're not comfortable doing just because sex sells. There have been too many second-gen female idols that came out and talked about how their bodies were being exploited. Hopefully now if girl groups want to do the sexy concept, they'll be able to do it in a way that's empowering to them, and not in a way that is meant to be liked by men. And then same thing goes for every other concept. Anyway, this was it. If you have anything to add, feel free to do so in the comment section and tell me what you think. Bye guys.